But it's okay now. I wanted this to be a horizontal live stream. For some reason, it won't let me do it horizontally. So I'm going to have to do it vertically instead. Hi, noob I am. Yes. Is there anybody else waiting? I presume you're my only viewer. So today, we're going to be making top trumps cards, but like with certain historical people, okay? I'm not sure if anyone's interested in this. If you're not interested in this, just say, but basically, we write down a name right here, and then it says, I'm not sure if you can see it, influence on history. We rank them based on influence in history, tactics, strategy, propaganda, and political skill. Okay? So, like, let's say we write Napoleon. We'll say he's a quite good strategist and tactician, so we'll mark him quite highly on those. He was also a really skilled propagandist. Political, not... I think Napoleon gets, like, maxed out on most of these, okay? So, if you have any... Napoleon's the person I probably... Okay, so nobody's watching anymore. No one's watching anymore. Alright, well, I'm just going to wait until somebody starts watching, because I can clearly tell that no one's watching, so... Hi, I don't think anyone's watching. Can you, like, put something in the chat or like the video if you are watching? No? Okay, well, just because nobody's watching, that doesn't mean I can't do this, okay? First of all, oh, God. Come on. Now I have a whole filter on. Amazing. Right. Hi. Somebody's clearly joined the stream again, so I might not have explained it to you. Basically, when we're making top trump cards about certain historical people, okay? So on here we have influence on history, tactics, strategy, propaganda skills, and political skill, okay? So we have to rank certain... Hi, noob I am, yes, okay? So we basically rank certain people based on that, okay? So which historical figure do you want to talk about first, okay? Napoleon, Alexander the Great, someone like that, okay? Let's start with Napoleon, shall we? Unless anyone has any objections. Okay, alright, so we're starting with Napoleon, right. Now, tactics. Napoleon, hi, it's 2 people watching now. So Napoleon's famous for being a really good tactician, like the main thing he's known for 4 people. So, Napoleon. Why am I gay? I'm not gay. Napoleon's really famous for being a very good tactician, okay? So that's the main thing he's known for, in fact. It's well known, he's considered one of the best, in fact, the best general in human history, okay? So, so when it comes to ranking how good his tactics are, what should we say? Hi, so I'm going to, now listen. Wow, so many people watching. Okay, hi. So we're probably not going to get someone better than him. So I think we're going to give rank Napoleon a 10, right there, for tactics, okay? Now what are Napoleon's strategy skills? Does anybody have any opinions on exactly how good Napoleon was for strategy, okay? Because he had the strategy where we would divide his enemy's forces in 2, then take them on individually, like he'd fight one of them first, then he'd fight another one, okay? He pioneered that tactic, although it wasn't brilliant. Like, he made the terrible decision of invading Russia. So, for strategy, we're going to rank him slightly lower, maybe a 7 or an 8. Anyone have any ideas on, like, exactly how good Napoleon's strategy was? Okay. Now, propaganda. Napoleon was a really... What's do you from, bro? Are you asking where am I from? Like, what country? Wait, where am I from? What country? Or just, like... Or something else? Because I'm from Britain, if you must know, but... Okay, Napoleon. So Napoleon was known for being a skilled propagandist. So what should we say for Napoleon? 6, 7. We're gonna go with 8 again because he wasn't the best. Yeah, 8, 8. Okay, 8. All right. Now, as for Napoleon's influence on history, I don't think there's any debate on this. This is the one that I'm most certain about. Napoleon. Germany would not be a country without Napoleon. Italy would not be a country without Napoleon. And think of all the things that Germany and Italy have done. Okay, we are absolutely... Napoleon is a 10. Or at least on strategy he is. All right, and finally, we have political skill. Okay? Now, Napoleon... how skilled was Napoleon politically? Because he was skilled enough to go from, you know, a tiny, impoverished family in Corsica to the Emperor of France, and that means he can't be an idiot. Although he wasn't like a poor person or anything. He was wealthy, but not like wealthy, you know. So I think we're just gonna. Am I now Deej Enki? Yeah, give proof. 7. Okay, Holy Rose thinks we should give him a 7. All right, let's listen to Holy Rose. So Napoleon's been given a... Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, that's something we've got to remember. He came back and took back power. That's why, in my opinion, I'm going to give Napoleon a 9 for top trumps. Okay. There we go. Napoleon was given a 10, an 8, an 8, and a 9. He's probably the most powerful card in the game. Okay. I have, like, your mum fingers you... Okay. That's it. I am banning you from the stream. Okay, Alright, I think I've blocked him. That guy who was being mean, I think I've blocked him. Okay, so who are we going to talk about next, okay? What do you want? Alexander the Great? Winston Churchill? Hitler? Who is this troll? Don't worry, I've gotten rid of him, okay? Stalin. Okay, let's go with Stalin. Right. Now, let's start with influence on history. Okay, now I would say that Stalin had a really influence on history because, you know, he's Stalin, okay? He stopped the Nazi invasion. He conquered Berlin. But on the other hand, you know, wouldn't any Soviet leader? Oh, you're putting him for a 10 on influence on history. Okay. Well, why? Because wouldn't any Soviet leader have been able to stop the German invasion? I'm not sure Stalin... Does Stalin need an actual 10? Because he definitely... Because we gave Napoleon... What did we give? We gave Napoleon a 10 for influence on history. So, I think we got... And Stalin was less than Napoleon. Exactly. See, I don't know about 10. He's definitely less than Napoleon, okay? And because Napoleon's number 1. Maybe a top trump card for Trump. Oh, that wouldn't... Okay. Nah, 8. Okay, the other thing he did... Because... He didn't do, like, the Cuban Missile Crisis. Oh, but what Stalin did do... once again, Stalin did a lot of things, but the point I'm making here is that everything Stalin did, okay, literally every other Soviet leader would have, okay? There's nothing we can do. Amazing reference, okay? Let me explain this, alright? Stalin invented the atomic bomb and took over Eastern Europe, but I feel like anyone would have done that given the chance. So I'm going to put... But everybody else think we want to rank him high. So I'm going to put Stalin at an 8 for influence on history, alright? An 8. Is everybody happy with that? Wonderful, alright? Yeah, 10. Most of his policies were reversed by Khrushchev. Yeah, okay. Alright, nice. We gave him an 8. Now, strategy. How good was Stalin on strategy, everybody? Strategy? Because he had a good enough strategy that he drove out the Nazi invasion, like... He won the Battle of Stalingrad, but on the other hand, was that him or his generals? Because he had a really clever general called Zhukov, who masterminded the defense of Moscow and probably saved Moscow. Okay, so, like, I don't know much about this. How much of it was him and how much of it was, you know, his generals, okay? So how highly are we going to rank Stalin for strategy? I'm thinking, oh, somebody put 7.3. I'm thinking like anywhere between a 3 and a 7 to put Stalin. Does anybody have any ideas? 6, 6, 4, 5. Okay, 5. Somebody's putting 5. Should we get 5 is average, right? So shall we give him a? We're not sure. Should we give him a 5? 7.3. Let's give him a 5, okay? But I promise you, Mikkel, I'll do one of your ideas in a second, okay? Finally, tactics. Now, I don't think we should bother measuring Stalin for tactics, because Stalin, hi, Kareem well said. So basically, we're creating top trumps cards for certain historical figures, okay? Like, for example, we've got Stalin right here. We're saying Stalin's influence on history was an 8 out of 10. His strategy skills were a 5. Now, for tactics, Stalin never really did many tactics, okay? Milk-Ul. Sorry for mispronouncing your name, Milk-Ul. His interference with the Winter War led to high casualties as the general's plan was to spearhead to Helsinki, but he instead wanted to do a complex invasion to match the German one of Poland. Okay, so you think he was a 5? Sorry, you think he wasn't very good. All right. But is that tactics or strategy? Because there's the thing. There's a difference between tactics and strategy. Strategy, in my opinion, means the entire war. Tactics are just what's going on in just one small battle. Now, Stalin never personally commanded a battle. He personally commanded an entire war. So what I'm saying is, I don't think we can mark Stalin off for strategy. So I think we should just write down not applicable for the tactics section in Stalin. But then give him a 5 for the strategy one. Does anybody think it's okay to write down not applicable for Stalin's tactics? Not applicable? Just waiting for somebody to comment. That sounds fair. Okay. 5, 6. No! It's not okay to write down not applicable? Okay then, so so in which case what should we mark him? Everybody, because everybody wants to write him. Okay. How about this, okay? We're gonna have to give him something, alright? So we're gonna have to give him something, so what should we mark him? Everybody seems to mark him down as a 5. No, you know what? I'm writing down not applicable. There we go, we have an NA right there. Because he never really commanded in a battle, did he? He commanded in a war. Right, so far... Oh, one last thing. Propaganda and political strategy, okay? So, how good was Stalin at making propaganda? You think he was a 5.6 at propaganda? Okay, because Stalin... I'm going to maybe wait it's a bit higher. So what did Stalin do? Stalin was able to make an entire country hate Trotsky and make the country love him enough to vote. Well, they didn't vote for him, but they supported him enough to not overthrow him. So the fact that Stalin could convince all of Russia to, keep him in power, well, to not overthrow him, I think that's quite good. So 7 or 8, I agree. Let's give him. Well, there's a great patriotic war. Yeah. He created a cult of personality. Anybody who can successfully create a cult of personality around themselves deserves quite high for for propaganda skills. So once again, Nubayam yes is like 7 to 8. Okay, I agree. Let's give him at least an 8. At least an 8. So I'm going to give him an 8 for propaganda, and I'm going to give you 10 seconds to give another suggestion or a reason why we should do it lower or higher. 10. Well, makes sense. 8, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. We're going with Stalin. Yep. Stalin is an 8 on how good he is at propaganda, okay? By the way, do you want me to take print off and take pictures of all these cards we make so I can give them back to my viewers? 7.8, yeah. Political skill. I think Stalin was. I'm just going to say Stalin was really skilled politically. We got to give Stalin a 9 or a 10 on just how good he was at politics. Okay. Well, obviously, he did, as in how good he was at gaining and maintaining power. He was a dictator that maintained control of all of Russia. So Milk-Ul is making a lot of comments. Okay, so I think we should straight up give him a 10 for give Stalin. Oh no, actually, I'll post the cards on the community tab. Good job. Okay, so let's give Stalin a 9. So I'm going to give Stalin a 9 on the political skill. 9, 9. Sure. So far we've created cards for Napoleon and Stalin. Who are we doing next? Which one you got next? By the way, I've got about 40 of these pieces of paper, so we're not going to be able to do them all. Yeah, I like chat. Yeah, no, this is fun. This live stream, I think. Who are we doing next? Genghis Khan. Well, I don't know. I know a decent amount about Genghis Khan, but I don't know like everything about him. So I'm going to need your help a lot with this one. How do you spell it? Dang it. Okay. So as you can see, I had to cross out. I spelled his name wrong, crossed it out, and now I've got Genghis written here. And I don't have room to write Khan, so we're just going to refer to him as Genghis, okay? Genghis, right. Influence on history, without a doubt, 10. He started the Mongol Empire, okay? There is absolutely no debate over that. His influence on history is a 10. Strategy. Well, here's the thing. The only thing I know about his strategy, okay, is that he chose not to invade India while he was fighting another war because he didn't want to get overstretched. And that's not very... That's common sense, I should think. He did take over all 3 dynasties that control parts of China. One of the strategies he used was he flooded the Chinese capital city, or one of the 3 Chinese capital cities, to force them into surrendering. So that's tactics, not strategy, I think. So what should we say for his strategy? Because there's somebody putting 10 in the chat. So 10 for strategy, shall we say? Somebody just keeps saying, okay. Somebody left a heart there. Oh, thank you. Okay. Are we gonna give him a 10? Everybody says 10. All right. He's gonna be just as powerful card as Napoleon, right? Tactics. How good was tactics? I kind of want to say 10 for tactics as well. Tactics. Everybody, what was tactics like? 10. We got a couple of people who all want to say 10. Is there anybody else? I'm on a smart fridge. Oh, you're watching on a Samsung smart fridge. Is that a reference to H1T1 series about the fridges? About watching his videos on crazy devices? Everybody's putting him on 10. Wow, this guy must have done some really genius tactics if everybody thinks he's a 10. Can somebody... Okay, 9.9. That's basically a 10. Propaganda. How good was propaganda skills, okay? Well, he won over so many people. He was that charismatic. I feel like the fact that these people are remembered by history so much means they're going to be cracked out on propaganda, okay? Like, the only way to become a powerful person is propaganda, pretty much. That is, it's required. It's a necessity. Okay? Okay. One thing, 2, absolutely no modern propaganda at all. What do you mean by that? As in nobody respects him in the modern day, or like his propaganda tactics were not modern enough at the time? Can you expand on that point, Sandnukes? Because what he did do right was he would hold an... Oh, he had no posters? Well, I feel like people didn't really do posters at the time. Like, what he did do was he held, like, an election... Not really an election. A sort of semi-election, so everybody could decide who, you know, who everyone could decide who... So that everybody could decide who could be the leader. And he knew that they were going to vote for him. But if it looked like he held an election, then he could look a lot more democratic. He looks to... He said, for the time he was a 7... So is that what we're saying? Sandnukes says he was a 2 for modern times, and he says for the time he was a 7. I don't know. I genuinely don't know much about. So can anybody else help me? All right. Well, yeah, could be. All right. Can anybody help me with this? You missed school, okay? Well, I'm gonna do a perfect average between 2 and 7, okay? A 5. Is everybody okay if I put Genghis Khan as a 5 for propaganda? It's probably going to be his weakest thing. Alright, 5. Now, what was he for political skill? 4, Stan Nukes is saying 4. Okay, I'll write 4 then. Okay, we got 4, 5, whatever. Propaganda. It's not propaganda. Political skill should be like 3 or 4 because his empire collapsed right after he died. Well, it wasn't right after he died, but that's the common problem that people make. Okay? Like, an empire will become so reliant on one person that the second that one person dies, the entire empire collapses. That's the mistake that Alexander the Great made. Like, when I know that eventually we're probably going to do Alexander the Great. Because Alexander the Great's empire collapsed the second, so we're going to put Alexander the Great political skill really low. But it's a similar thing, because his empire did last for like a few more decades after he survived. So Nubium, yes, says 3 or 4. But on the other hand, it was a complex political situation, and he managed to manipulate everything to make the tribes support him, you know? So I feel like he deserves a little higher than 4. Can we give him a 6 or a 7, perhaps? What do you say? Everyone? Alright, 6. Who's Ogadai? Who's Ogadai? Was Ogadai his son or something? And there were even crusades against the Mongols. Wow. Okay. So he wasn't really good at... He was good at internal politics, but not geopolitics. So if nobody has any objections, I'm going to give him, like, a 6. Wow. Milk Ull clearly loves putting points in it. We can't put points in this game. 5. Okay. Well, I'm going to take a leaf out of Milk Ull's book and give him a 5.5. By the way, I have a question for you all. How many cards are in a Top Trumps pack? Because so far we've made 3. And I'd just like to ask, I haven't played Top Trumps in a while, how many cards are in a Top Trumps pack? Okay, well, you can answer when you feel like it. But who shall we do next? Who shall we do next? There were 2 cards in the Top Trumps pack. What? Who are we doing next? Everybody? Anybody? 30 or 32 cards in the Top Trumps pack. Well, given that we're 20 minutes in and we've done 3... Okay. Now you all want to do Trump and Joe. Okay. Well, given that there were we only made 3 cards in 20 minutes, we're not going to have time to make 30. We probably... Okay, I'm leaving on a holiday in a couple of hours, so we're not going to have time to do 30. So we want to do Trump or Joe. Well, that's the thing. With Joe Biden and Trump, we don't know what influence that has on history. Like, if a civil war starts in the USA, okay, then yes, we can give them like a full-on 10 for influence on history. But if a civil war starts and the USA remains relatively stable, then we got to rank them quite low. We don't know how much influence they have on history. Okay? We don't know. But, like, let's just, like, try to do it, okay? Let's say we did Trump. Are Trump and Biden actually we'll do Mussolini in a second, okay? Are Trump and Biden actually that skilled, okay? Because, sure, I understand they have to be decently skilled to get to where they are or where they were. But they're nowhere near as good as, like, the other people. Like, come on. You got to admit that, like, Genghis Khan... It was more impressive for Genghis Khan. We'll do Bush and Mussolini in a second. It was more impressive for Genghis Khan, in my opinion, to rise to the ruler of Mongols or for Stalin or Napoleon to rise to ruler of their empires than it was for Trump or Biden to rise to the ruler of whatever they conquered, their empires, you know? It's also how... Also, we can't really do Trump and Biden because we don't know what their... Joe is pretty experienced in politics, maybe like a 6, and Trump is an outside, so 4. The other thing is, we can't really do Trump and Biden because they've got no experience in strategy or tactics. Like, they've got some strategy or tactics, sure, but, like, not to the extent that these other people have, so let's not do them. Bush as well. Let's do Mussolini. Alright, we're doing Mussolini. By the way, can you see this? Is it inverted for you? Okay. Influence on history. Well, well, let's think. Mussolini, you can see somewhat. Okay, well, but a bit hard. All right. Well, I can just say his influence. Yeah, I could like two because Mussolini. How much of a role did Mussolini have when it between 1933 and 1939? Okay, like did he influence European politics that much? Because here's the thing. Riddle me this. Mussolini was, I think, the one who brokered a deal between the Czechs and Hitler and Britain to sign the. Don't know how your fridge is still alive, huh? To sign the what's it called? To sign the Munich Agreement to stop war breaking out between Czechoslovakia and, Hitler, and then war broke out and then Hitler invaded Czechoslovakia. But yeah, I agree. Mussolini has got nowhere near the influence of history on any of these guys. So we're going to give him a 4 at the highest, maybe a 2 or a 3. I gave Mussolini a 2. Is okay? The next thing we have to consider is strategy. Alright? How good was Mussolini as a strategician? I think we can all agree on that. We're going to give Mussolini a very low number. So, yeah, I gave him a 2 again. Tactics. Well, it's like you want to give him a 3, all right? Well, it's like tactics because Mussolini didn't really fight in a never commanded a battle personally. He commanded a strategy. So I'm not sure if we can say that he did fight in a battle, but everybody says we should give him 3 for tactics. Did Mussolini ever personally command a battle or not? 3. Everybody's constantly saying 3. Okay. So I guess I'll give him a 3. Propaganda. Okay, how was his propaganda skills? How was Mussolini's propaganda skills? Well, he got voted out by his own parliament and government. Okay, everybody's being a little bit more generous to him for propaganda. Between 5 and 7, 6 or 7, it wasn't too bad. Alright, we're going with... I gave him a 6 for propaganda. And finally, political skill. I am going to mark him low. I want to mark him low for political skill. Because, like, Stalin and Genghis Khan, they maintained control of their government till the end of their lives. These, Mussolini didn't. Mussolini was voted out, had to be propped up by Hitler. Okay? So, I want to mark Mussolini quite low. For political skill. Oh no, your fridge is on 1%. Buddy, 4. Oh, because he did the march on Rome, didn't he? 4. Alright, everybody's saying 4. Great, 4. So far, we've created 4 top trumps cards. Eventually, like, I'm going to do a couple more of these live streams. Should I do more of these live streams? Like, because eventually when we get to, like, 30 cards, I can actually, like, do a live stream where I play games with people. Okay. Who are we doing next, by the way? I should do more of these live streams. Thanks for saying. Alexander. Is that Alexander the Great or just Alexander the guy I know from school? Oh, I assume you mean Alexander the Great. Okay. We're doing Alexander the Great. Influence on history. I want to give him a... Oh, Kim Jong-il. Was Kim Jong-il the first... Kim Jong-il. Kim Jong-il was like the second ruler. It would be better to do Kim Il-sung, because Kim Il-sung was the first ruler of North Korea. So I kind of want to do him in a second, because... Or did he... Okay. Now, Alexander. Influence in history. Influence in history brought the Achaemenid Empire, to the end, okay? Okay, we've got to give him quite a high tactics and strategy thing. So I want to give his influence in history like a good solid 8 or 9. But on the other hand, the Achaemenid Empire was in decline anyway. That's why he was able to conquer it. So So I feel like a 7. A 7 is probably fair for him. 6 or 7. I gave him a 7. Honestly, for how early he was alive, yeah, 7. Especially because he died after only one campaign. He didn't do much in his life, did he? Next, strategy. Okay. Because what was Alexander? How good was he at strategy? Because all he did, really, was just march about, and every time a Persian army attacked him, he would fight it and win. I wouldn't say that's very good strategy, is it? Right? So I would say he didn't. I don't think he had much strategy, unless somebody can like enlighten me on that. Because there had to be some strategy. So can somebody like give me more information about his strategy, please, if you know anything? Anybody? Alright, I'm just gonna. Okay, unless somebody says something, I'm gonna give him a 5. No, I'm gonna. Oh, actually, no, his strategy had to be quite good. I'm gonna give him a 6.5. Don't know much about that, Alexander. Yeah, me neither. Let's give him. I gave him a 6.5 to be nice to him. Tactics. Oh god, his tactics were okay because he's defeated massive armies at like the Battle of Gaugamela, for example. He defeated massive armies like that. Yeah, he invaded Greek cities. He invaded the Greek cities, alright. So what are we going to give him for tactics then? Any ideas? Any ideas of what we should give him for tactics? 8 or 9 on tactics? Wow, you guys want to be nice to him. I might give him probably 9. 9, okay. I gave him a 9 for tactics. I might have to stop it. Alexander might be the... Alexander might have to be the last one. Maybe. Can you pause live streams? Because I don't... Oh, God. Oh, actually, no, what? Probably 9. Last one. Propaganda. Now, here's the thing. He had to call off his invasion of India because his army threatened to mutiny if he invaded India. So, his propaganda skills... But he managed to maintain the loyalty of his army for the 10 years that he did invade the Achaemenid Empire. So, what do you lot think? Because most of it's marching. Like, the thing about being a soldier, right? Most of it's just marching. Like, there's very little actual fighting. Although, it's the fighting that can kill you. But the disease can also kill you, you know? Okay. So, how good was his propaganda skills? 4. 10 years hasn't that long. 4, okay. Because remember, like, the armies probably didn't have much of an incentive to desert. If they deserted, where are they going to go? You know? Where are they going to go? Exactly, they got nowhere to go, they're just going to starve, okay? So, it would be quite hard to get them to leave. Especially because with his constant victories, of course they wanted to stay with him. Lastly, political skill. Now, did he actually do much politics? Because when he invaded Egypt, okay, the Egyptians helped overthrow the Achaemenids there, and... well, they declared him pharaoh, so but on the other hand, yeah, the second he collapsed, the second he died, his entire empire collapsed. Like, the empire allowed him, the second he died, he just said, my lord, who shall be the next ruler after you? And he just said, the strongest. And everybody said, oh, the strongest. And so when he said the strongest, everybody took that as an excuse to just fight each other over the empire. Like, he should have just said somebody. Like, pick your favourite person, Alexander, and say that person's name, and then your empire lasts for hundreds of years. And then your empire lasts for hundreds of years. So, yeah, exactly. I don't think Alexander was that smart, politics-wise, anyway. We're going to give him a 3. Alright, we have made 5 cards. I might do Kim Il-sung and then stop, or something, and then, like, I'll probably have time to do this again tomorrow. This is fun. Right, Kim Il-sung? Should we do Kim Il-sung? Oh, I have an idea. After we do Kim Il-sung, instead of doing historical figures, let's do historical empires. Like, for example, I could write down the Byzantine Empire or something. So we got Kim Il-sung. Influence in history. What was Kim Il-sung's influence in history? Okay. Now, let me just give you a quick history lesson, okay? Kim Il-sung became ruler of North Korea, propped up by the Soviet Union. He was a puppet of the Soviet Union, effectively. Then he invaded South Korea. What did he? So he invaded South Korea, almost succeeded, failed. You think the Discord link is broken? Alright, I'll check. I'll go onto a different account and see if the Discord link is working. So I'll check, because if the Discord link is broken, thanks. But yeah. So he went on. So he invaded South Korea, failed. Then South Korea invaded North Korea, and then he succeeded. Also, they also failed because China saved him, and then they considered dropping nuclear bombs, but they decided not to drop nuclear bombs. Okay. So his influence in history wasn't that much. Like, all he did was increase tensions between North Korea and South Korea, and not much has come of that yet. Like, maybe a nuclear war hasn't started yet. If he ever started a nuclear war, then sure, we're going to have to give him a 10, but we might not be around to give him a 10, so I want to mark him quite low for influence on history. Let's go 4. Actually, I'm going to give him a 1, because the Soviet Union could have picked absolutely any person to make their puppet, and they just happened to choose him. He didn't do much. Okay? What about his... Yeah, I tried link, it says invalid. Alright. Okay. Yep, alright, thank you. Okay. Strategy. What was his strategy like? What was his strategy like? Once again, like, it was okay. It was good enough to almost defeat the Americans, but then sort of almost defeat South Korea. Like, I don't think there was much he could have done. But on the other hand, he wasn't a mastermind. Like, he didn't invent that many genius strategies, okay? Okay. So I'm going to give him quite low. I'm going to give Kim Il-sung quite low on strategy, okay? What should I give him for strategy? Yeah, 4, I mean, 4's quite generous. Let's give him a 3.5. I'm going to give Kim Il-sung a 3.5 for strategy, alright? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I'm giving him a 3.5. Yep, we gave him a 3.5. What were his tactics like? Once again, his tactics, I don't think he ever personally commanded a battle. Oh god, my phone has 5% battery. Yeah, no, this will have to be the last one. My phone has 5%, unless I can plug it in. Sorry, just looking for a charger. The first Battle of Seoul was a masterpiece. Okay, so tactics maybe was good. Okay. Actually, I see your point with that one. Okay, but did he plan it though? Or did, like, because the Soviets sent a bunch of advisors, but did he plan it? And then he, like, maybe add historic next. What do you mean add historic? Oh, as in you want to do a top trump card of me? Is that what you're saying? You want to do a top trump card of me? Okay, so I'm going to give Kim Il-sung quite high for tactics. I gave him a 7 for tactics. Is that alright? Propaganda. Now propaganda, okay? What should we do? Okay. Now propaganda. How good were his propaganda skills? 9. Yeah, he created the cult of personality, so let's rank him highly. And finally, political skill. What was political skills like? Okay. 9. Alright, what was political skills like? Oh, you think 9, okay. Oh, 7. I mean, he was just like a communist that was also North Korean, that was also really in favour of the Soviet Union, so the Soviets just picked him. I think that was just like luck that he happened to be that. So we should rank him highly. Let's give him 7. So far we have made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've made 6 top trump cards about certain people. And I think that might have to be it for today, because I probably have other stuff to do. But tomorrow I'm probably going to do a similar live stream, where we might do countries instead, okay? And maybe we'll even make a top trumps card for me. So, bye. I'm going to end the live stream now, so you can all leave. I'll post them on community, okay. Bye.